Hi, we're here with Eric Landers, who's a Parish Services Consultant at the Archdiocese of Boston. Eric, good to have you.
Good morning, Susan.
Tell us, what do you do in your role as a Parish Service Consultant? What do you do for the parishes, the collaboratives involved in Disciples in Mission?
Sure. So as you mentioned, Parish Services Consultant, I work for a department called Parish Services, and we do just that. We provide various services for parishes of the Archdiocese. And in my specific role, there are several of us, and we're assigned regionally to the collaboratives or to the parishes, and to provide them information, consulting, advice in areas of finance and operations. So I see that really in kind of four distinct ways that we provide that kind of consulting. So one is in terms of dealing with setting up pastoral teams and finance councils, things of that nature. So working with them to both, how do you establish a good finance council, how do they work well, and in addition, how does it apply now to Disciples in Mission and the workings of a collaborative. A second way that we would do kind of consulting work is in budgeting for mission. So we really prioritize, or for too long, really parishes have been focused on maintenance budgeting and just maybe
just making do, covering
exactly.
the bills. Okay.
Yeah, so your budget process is we look at what we did last year and maybe it's going to be flat next year, or we add 5% or we cut this. And really what we're looking at now is how do we prioritize our evangelization efforts, our pastoral efforts, liturgical efforts, and really make the intentional decision to focus on those things, with the goals of Disciples in Mission in mind. And so it's both in terms of working with the parishes and the councils to find the resources to do those things, and in another sense, ensuring that at those meetings, the budget process, that we keep in mind the real goal is what we're doing focused around finding the lost, making disciples, spreading the gospel message. So we do that. A third way is in acting as essentially a liaison to other departments within the Archdiocese. So sometimes pastors or the business managers we work with they aren't sure who to call, or we're in a meeting with them and recognize that, hey, we could bring in some other expertise into this, or maybe there's somebody else we can ask about this and use their advice. And so that could be the Catholic Schools Office, we have information technology, IT department, property, real estate, human resources, and dealing with personnel and interviewing or benefits, so just a lot of different departments that we can bring into these discussions. And then finally is really the day-to-day interactions with the business managers, finance managers, pastors. So sometimes that's just a quick question in terms of accounting or how do I book something, and then other times it's bigger, broader questions in like budgeting for mission or setting up collaboratives and sharing expenses and those kind of things. So those are kind of the ways that I look at our job. And in general, we really try to take a service focus. I mean, we're really here to Parish Services, serve the parishes, and we're here.
Well named.
Yes, exactly. But that is really our focus, is to be a resource to them, to have a service mindset, to be here when they need us, and to help them organize themselves to more efficiently and more effectively spread the good news of Jesus Christ.
Can I just go back a bit to the Finance Council part? When you're saying that you're advising them, that's what you're advising. I mean, the Finance Council, the appointment is the pastor's decision ultimately. You're not overseeing that. You're not overstepping those bounds.
Correct. Yeah. No. It's very much an advisory capacity, which the council is as well.
Right. Exactly.
And so whether it's questions that come out of Finance Council meetings, so regularly I'll receive a message from a pastor, a call or email, and him saying, these questions came up at the last meeting. What do you think? Or maybe an invitation to attend a meeting to address some things they know are coming up, whether it's budgets or sharing expenses or some other kind of matter. But yes, very much in an advisory capacity.
And there's the old joke about ringing the doorbell and saying, "Hi, I'm here from the Archdiocese and I'm here to help," and people either lock or close the door.
Yep.
Do you find that you're being welcomed and your services are being well used?
I think so. I mean, at least since I've been with the diocese, we've done a lot of work with the business managers directly and working with them, and I think that they appreciate the help that we offer them. We try not to be in the way or overly burdensome or contact them all the time, but we want them to know that we're here for them. And so I think that's part of building the relationships, and where we are focused regionally, we can do that. We can get to know the people that we work with, the pastors and the staffs, and they can come to rely on us. And I mean, I support the Merrimack region. I live in the Merrimack region. It helps when you know these
Right.
places, you know where
That's
they
right.
are, and
Yeah, yeah.
you know some of the churches you've been there, and
Sure.
some of the same people. So that certainly helps too.
Great, alrighty, thank you. So
You're welcome.
if you'll stick around, we'll have some more questions for you.
Sounds great.
Alrighty, thank you so much for visiting disciplesinmission.com.